Any corrections?
Yeah, just, I was referred to as Mrs.
Oh,
Just a
I
small
missed that.
point.
Just checking to see.
It's fine.
Any other corrections? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Payment of the bills. Is there a motion to approve for the month of February, the amount of $876,925.02?
So moved.
Amy or Rainey, is there a second?
Second, Brian.
Brian, thank you, Brian. Any questions, discussion?
I just have one thing. I was wondering, what district mapping is. There was a, $4,994 check.
Yep, so we received a grant almost 2.5 years ago for a school safety mapping. So what Lee's holding up back there, and we've held that off till after the referendum so we could have the most updated maps. So fortunately for us, they held that grant, and it was a $5,000 grant. It paid for all those escape routes, all that other stuff. So it's another part of the process that Officer Myers did.
So is that in every classroom? then?
Yes, that's he spent a lot of time just giving different, where do you go for tornadoes, where do you go for fire, all that other good stuff. So still kind of working on those things.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The cash summary?
I didn't have any questions, and it's pretty standard as it is the last few months. So if I don't have any other questions, Patty is not here for the next probably 4 or 5 weeks. So everything went well with that. She's doing fine. So, but we'll all, in case she's watching, Patty, we're all thinking about you.
All right, donations.
Yes, we did well with Donors Choose. Again, thank you to Mrs. Reed for putting a project out there for Keep Our Art Beautiful. To Mrs. Cruz for the Listening Center, and Ms. Lucas for classroom books. Every time we do that, it takes time to put those out on Donors Choose. And we appreciate what we can do. Just to, some of this is our CKLA curriculum, trying to find more books to get into our students' hands. So we thank them, and I know Christine is here right now, so thanks for your work on Donors Choose.
Yes, thank you. Any questions? All right. I didn't have anyone sign up for comments from the public, so that takes us to building reports.
So I'm gonna.
Good hustle, Lee.
Oh, thank you. So we've had some great discussions at DLT about our portrait of a graduate. After some staff in the DLT attended Slate in the, I would say winter, December, they moved to Portrait of a Leader. And when I think of it from an elementary lens, a leader could be at any grade, where graduate maybe would just be the final journey, destination of this journey. So we've had really great conversations about that. Now we're looking at what are those sub points that make a leader. Andrea and Travis surveyed the community to hear from the local consumers and businesses about what is a good leader, what are some attributes that they would like to see. We took it to our, and I know the joint staff meetings on here as well. We took it to the staff meeting, showed them, pared it down even more, and now we've had other conversations at DLT. So it's been really positive, just kind of working toward that career life, college ready picture of our students here at Random Lake. We also, in Strong Classrooms, have been talking about our standardized assessments. March is the testing month right now. We did Ames Web last week. They're doing Forward this week.
And we finished pre-ACT, ACT last week.
And yep, pre-ACT and ACT last week. So our students are showing us their knowledge before they head off to spring break, which is really exciting.
And with the pre-ACT and ACT, we had 100% attendance for our freshmen and juniors. One student was absent from the sophomores, and we got her done. So it was a pretty impactful day. Explore Your Future event at Lakeshore College. 8th grade went on that field trip and had a phenomenal visit there where they were doing career cluster work, and then they were able to see some of the departments at Lakeshore College in the career cluster that they had shown readiness for. So it was a very positive field trip for them. Strong Culture. Middle school monthly theme this month is humility. So we're going to be working with the students on what does it mean to show humility, have humility. Middle school student of the quarter assembly will be Friday, with third quarter just ending. NHS shoe fundraiser is underway. So all the students have also watched a video about donating new or gently used shoes for those in Africa. So this is a fundraiser that NHS has done each year for several years now. The NHS application period will be opening up as well. Mrs. Donahue has already been meeting with students and talking about that process.
All right, and tomorrow we are taking our students from the elementary school in our third quarter incentive to Globe Lanes and then Above and Beyond Children's Museum for our younger friends. This is one of our structured adventures, so we're excited that we have a lot of parents coming along and supporting that as well, just really connecting our elementary students to the community with families. And then I'm going to jump to the other one at the bottom of Strong Community Connections and just give another shout out to Christine. We have our play dates happening in 4K on Fridays just to get more friends and family in our classrooms. It's about an hour long from 8:30 to 9:30, correct, Christine? So they get a chance to come in, see what it's like to be in 4K. They get a cup of coffee from the Ram Cafe. We give them another tour and just trying to make them feel welcome and part of our community.
And what age students is that open to for the play dates?
It is open to our kiddos that would be enrolling in the fall. And it gets us currently we're the big kids now, and we'll show you the ropes in school.
Kind of a fun way to invite in our parents to meet kids in and get used to walking the halls and doing stuff. So.
All right, so continuing on, we had an alumni speaker in this past week. He was Matt Benson, a 2002 graduate. He was also a wrestler that went on to wrestle at Lakeland University, served in the U.S. National Guard for 8 years, and he has been with Sherwin-Williams as a store manager for 20 plus years. So it was good to have him come back and share a little insight with the students. We have our distinguished alumni recipients for this year. So the committee met and we thank Thomas Winker, class of 1973, and Dr. Ron Haas, class of 1958, have both graciously accepted and are very honored to come speak at commencement. So they're both planning to be there. Student acknowledgement. So I'm going to kind of go through these. Congratulations to our state wrestlers, Scott, Caleb, Simon, and Jeff. We had a pep rally to send them off in style, and they did us proud. RLHS esports team also qualified and competed at state for Fortnite. So thank you, esports, under Mr. Idson. FBLA regionals, so there was 14 competitors that placed in the top 10 under Coach Wills. So we have Audrey, Mackenzie, and Sabrina, who came in first in their category. And then Abby, 4th, Gemma, 5th, Mara, 6th, Olivia, 7th, Michaela, 9th, Mia, 10th. So they did phenomenal placing in the top 10. So our 3 first place winners move on to state, and that comes up the second week in April is when they compete at state. And then Big East All Conference. So we have the boys basketball, Michael, honorable mention. Girls basketball, Lexi, second team All Conference. Our girls wrestlers, Ariana, Lena, Abby, and Samantha, all made first team. And boys wrestling, we had Caleb, Jeffrey, and Simon make first team. Max and Kyle make second team. And then Seth and Nolan were our honorable mentions. And hot off the press, we had 8 students that competed at our forensics, district forensics, and all 8 are moving on to state. So well done to our 8 students there, Sabrina, Annabelle, Lena, Mackenzie, Carly, Ella, Liam, and Kylie. So they did a phenomenal job there. And we did finish with Soul Ensemble, and we have some contenders moving on to state as well. So with that, there was one last group that I wanted to highlight, and that is our mock trial team. First, I want to start off with a letter that I received from, I think it was Judge Bastille? Judge Bastille. And she sent me the email saying that she wanted to share an inspiring and positive experience that she had with Mrs. Andrea Peterson, as well as the mock trial team. She and her mock trial team visited the Sheboygan County Courthouse, and she presided over a mock trial before their competition. And she can tell that Mrs. Peterson has put in a tremendous amount of work with the kids, and the students did an excellent job. She first met Mrs. Peterson last year when Ms. Peterson came to the courthouse for a mock trial with her class. After a successful mock trial, she had the idea of starting the mock trial team at Random Lake. She told her that she would help with whatever was needed and connected Mrs. Peterson with a lawyer in the area to help. She took that and ran with it and made it happen. And she was thoroughly impressed with Mrs. Peterson and the students and very proud of the work that was done. So thank you for a positive experience. So that was what from Judge Bastille. So I want to turn it over to Mrs. Peterson and Mr. Olson, who are our mock trial facilitators, but the students did a phenomenal job, and I had the pleasure of being able to listen to their practice, and for their first year, it was really something to watch.
So thank you. As I was introduced, I'm Andrea Peterson, and this is our mock trial team. This all kind of started last year. I had during my English 10 class, actually all the English 10 teachers, we decided to incorporate mock trial. We loved it so much. I said we need to do this as competition, and I kind of Mr. Olson and I recruited these students to be our first team. So I'm going to turn it over to Liam, who's going to tell you about our first case.
All right, so our case we presented this here is Kazoo versus Wisconsin Ostriches Farm and Fun, Inc., or WAF. Now, what happened is Reagan Kazoo, an animal activist since middle school, sues Montana Jake and his ostrich farm for negligence regarding the escape of a mother ostrich. Now, why the ostrich may have escaped, who may have been responsible, and what this means for WAF are all up for debate in our 2025 to 2026 mock trial.
All right, so I'm going to have each of the students introduce themselves and their role on the team, and then we'll just kind of share some of our final insights about the season and our plans for next year. And remember to say what grade you are, as well as you share your name and role and that. Okay.
I'm Donna Gonzalez. I'm in 10th grade. I was a witness, Cassidy O'Wary.
I'm Ella Rush, and I'm a senior, and I played Reagan Kazoo.
I am Annabelle Bagley. I'm a senior, and I was our main defense attorney.
I'm Mason Casper. I played Reese Grablar, Reagan's neighbor, and I'm a junior.
I'm Liam Prodell. I was also a junior, and I played a witness, Blake Deadly.
I'm Lena Schoenefeld, and I played Montana Jake, and I'm a junior.
I'm Griffin Donahue. I'm a junior, and I was one of the 2 prosecution lawyers.
So as you can see, we don't have our full team here. So we have 2 photos I can share with you here today. So this first photo was taken during our scrimmage. I know there was one student who was not there that day. Mason is not pictured. But on the right, you can see our attorney coach, Mr. Jacob Birnbaum, a former alumni, and he was so instrumental in helping us to really prepare for this case. And then also you see on so my right, your left, my left, whatever. You see Judge Bastel in her robes, and she presided over our scrimmage that we did. And that was just so helpful to get the kids ready for the competition the following week. So if you go to the second picture, we did get snap one photo at the courthouse. You can see the full team there that day. And I will just kind of ask them to share some of their overall insights about the day, what they learned, what we liked, and what we kind of are thinking for next year, because we have lots of thoughts. So I'll just go down the row one more time, and then we can answer any questions. So, want to share or pass the mic down? No.
Okay, I'll say something. As an attorney that was supposed to be on a 2-attorney team and ended up like competing on a 1-person team, learn the full case for your side, whether you plan on presenting it or not, or you will be stressing out and sitting in the break room trying to figure out a full case by yourself. And it's a lot.
I just want to thank Annabelle again. She did great. She actually won by herself, and that was beautiful. And it was surprising because there were a lot of other teams that were much more experienced than us, but it was great to go out there our first time and get a win. It was awesome.
I agree with Mason that I was pleasantly surprised at how well we did compared to all the other groups who have been doing this for years, and this is our first time. So that is very exciting. One thing that I really appreciated on our visit to the Sheboygan County Courthouse was that we actually got a good look at what it's like to be a judge. She was able to tell us quite a bit about her day-to-day life. We saw inside of her office space and the kind of thing that she'd deal with if one was to actually work as a judge, which was, I found it very exciting.
Looking back on the whole thing, I think it didn't really start to get fun until we got to the competition and when it all came together. And so, at least at the beginning, I was like, I was kind of voluntold for this. I don't know how this is gonna go. Sorry. But I'm glad I stuck with it, so.
Yeah, at first I was like wondering what I got myself into. When I opened the packet, saw like 50 pages, I was like, whoa. But overall, I would have not done it any other way, and I had an overall great experience in doing mock trial, and I hope to do it next year.
So let me ask a question. Everyone has to answer this like that. There's no pass. What, you know, we always talk about strong community connections and being able to go to court and do this. This is an authentic learning experience. What are each of you going to take away from this when you're 5 years from now? What's one skill or one thing that you took away? You get the easiest one. You get the
Yeah, just mainly public speaking. Like, I've been very introverted most of my life, and this has made me speak up and go out of my comfort zone just to object someone in the first place. So that's like blocking someone from talking. That was just so scary at first to do, but I was able to build it over time and actually do it multiple times when I was in my mock trial.
And you're doing a pretty good job today with it too.
Thank you.
This is public speaking.
Yeah.
Well, when I was on the witness stand, I kind of got really grilled by one of the teams. Actually, the case we did end up winning. And what I think I learned from that was be confidently right or be confidently wrong. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just be confident.
One thing that I took away is that conversation is not a spectator sport, and no matter when you're trying to talk to someone, you're trying to get some type of point of view across. Even as a witness, not a attorney, I'm still trying to convey my viewpoint of what happened, and if I lean one side or the other, who I think may have done it, which we were actually told to do by the other attorneys to kind of dissuade them from trying to get their rein on the conversation and how the court case is going.
One thing I took away from it is that you need to add like your own personality and flair to the character. Because I know when a judge said to me, I didn't have enough personality with my character, because I was just going off like the script. But you looked at other teams, they had witnesses that added new things to their characters, and that made it very special.
I think the main thing I learned was just how to perform under a lot of unexpected stress. I can perform well under stress that I know I'm going to have, but that day really showed me that even when I didn't know what I was getting myself into, I was fine. And I got over it. And I performed decently the first round and then well the second round. So it was all good.
Yeah, like who was it? Griffin said I also like learned how to public speak better. Like I struggle with it, and I think this was like opportunity made me feel a little bit better. Like everyone's up here doing the same thing that I'm doing, so it made me feel better. And like one thing I like wish I would have done was like been more confident in my character and really like played the role instead of being so nervous of just remembering what's on my affidavit and just going with it.
I think one thing I learned is like being prepared really helps you, especially like if you're on the spot, like just knowing what you're talking about is good.
That's true. So just to kind of wrap up, this was just such a phenomenal season. These kids did amazing. I'm so proud of them. And all of my underclassmen that are not seniors promise they're coming back. And we're really looking forward to next year. So does anybody have any other questions for us?
I'm wondering if anyone was inspired to pursue this kind of career.
So this isn't like it didn't change my like straight out of high school plans. I still plan on going into engineering, but I remember sitting after our first round and we got a picture of it. It's me sitting on a counter with documents all around me, talking to one of our judges, like,
Jacob.
yeah, Jacob, one of our coaches, I suppose. And like mid talk, while I'm like, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? He's like, you should really go into law. And I'm like, but engineering. And he went, I know so many engineers that ended up switching into law because they got bored. And I went, I'll think about it. And he said, look into patent law. So I'm thinking about maybe later on looking at it. It's not my straight out of high school thing. I'm not certain on it, but it's always a possibility. If I get bored of engineering, like he says, I probably will. Anybody else? Go for it.
So most of you know that my mom is a math teacher, so I'm also heavily into math, but this just gave me confidence to go into like even thinking about doing something like this, because this was not even like in my mind at all prior to this. And now it's like, I possibly could go into this. So it's just another career path that is on my lookout. Anybody else?
So was this like a win-lose thing, or was it
Sure. So there were 8 teams in Green Bay that we competed. So we were power match. We had 4 rounds. So your record is your wins and losses of those 4 rounds. So we were 1 win, 3 losses, which actually put us not at the last place in our team of 8 for our first year, which we were just so proud because we didn't, as both of us as coaches, didn't even know what to expect. Jacob, our attorney coach, had not done mock trial since college mock trial. So we just all learned so much during it, even during the competition itself. All these guys took every piece of feedback and brought it into their next case, and we improved every time. Every single witness and attorney. So it was just, I mean, I just couldn't stop smiling on Sunday after our competition. It was just such a fun day. It was so much fun. So we just had such a great time together, and yeah, such an awesome experience.
Thank you all for coming in tonight too,
Yeah.
being here. This is fantastic. So.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys make it fun. Yes. So thank you for having us, and all right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You guys will have to recruit him for next year, so she doesn't have to volunteer people to.
Yeah.
Whole team.
Yes, you're good. Thanks, gang. See you tomorrow.
All right. Well, that was interesting. Okay, next we have board committee reports. We have policy met just before this meeting, and we have some policy later on the agenda. We have an out-of-state travel request with Natalie going to Shed. Is there a motion to approve? Katie, is there a second? Second. Chris? Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now 9 is
On-
off, right?
9, we,
Yeah.
They're going in.
They're going to the States, so.
I should have asked a question on this Shed one, though, like, is this, like, they're leaving here at like 8:30 and getting back at 3:30 or something?
even at 7, I think we can set.
Oh, is it earlier than that? I just, like, I wonder if that's long enough, like, can we do things, or if Natalie wanted to, could she do it later than that? Or are they trying to avoid getting through traffic, or?
No, she knows that they could come back later. Yeah,
It's just that that's when the students wanted to know. Okay. It sounds like.
part of it might be also related to whoever's on the trip was working.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Okay. Then we have some staff resignation for salaried and support staff. Amy Lawrence, our food service, 28 years. Wow. Is there, that one's just a notification for us, but we thank her for those 28 years.
Many, many great years.
What she's done, it's been great.
Are we hiring somebody with Sheboygan Falls, or is it? kind of-
A little up in the air. There's actually, there's some other things that are kind of working with that right now. So we should be covered for next year.
All right. Then we do have to take action on a professional staff resignation for the purpose of retirement as well. Susie Gano for 26 years in our district. Again, another, wow,
Yeah.
done a lot of great things. Thank you. Is there a motion to accept her resignation with thanks?
I'll make that motion.
Beth, is there a second?
I'll second.
Rini, any questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And that takes us into policies. We had technical corrections. That's just a notification. We don't have to take any action on that. Did anyone have any questions on those technical corrections?
Is that what you want me to?
No, the
You
technical,
don't even need to
No.
bring this up, I don't even know if it's a big deal, or what it means that they didn't do the guardian thing.
oh, yes. So there was, well, actually, the Act 57 wasn't technical, right?
Right.
Yeah, that would be the next one. That'd be for the single read.
It was like in the technical corrections, there are all sorts of places where they crossed out guardians. It just says parents, and they crossed out guardians, all the way through the TC one. right, which is what the technical functions means or not?
Yes, and then for the Act 57, they have parent and guardian, so Kim has reached out to Richard to see, the Act 57, that law just passed, in February. So Neola's trying to get us up to snuff on that, so we're checking if that is more technical for Act 57 to leave both guardian and parent in, or if it's something that was an oversight. So if we can, if it can just be parent, then that's the definition. Have you heard back from Richard at all on that yet?
Is that the definition of parent? Like, it just seemed weird that they were getting rid of and guardian in all of those places. Like, isn't it parent or guardian that can have that, like, sign off on things for their kids?
Parent, as defined in policies, means parent or guardian. I think that's why we've seen stricken in so many of them as they come up.
Right.
This one being a new language because of that, the laws that were passed recently, February, it may be an oversight, that's what we're checking on. Or we have to leave it because of how extended the statute. But you're correct, it has to be other places. so
Yeah, it's
a little
weird,
odd.
right? Yeah.
It's uneven, so we did some checking. Does everybody understand what she's asking? Make sure. So one area, we took out the word guardian. And you have to remember, these are a bunch of lawyers that sit in a room and find things to keep making sure that we're up to snuff when it comes to
Oh, making
policy,
sure they get
so,
paid. I thought,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. They need to stay on the payroll for some reason,
Yeah.
right? So yes, and every time there's a new law out there, they get all excited about it, so we'll see what that means.
Okay, so we're good with the technical. That takes us to the, hopefully, single reading. Now, the first reading that's just on there,
It's on there so that you have options.
options, okay. So, ideally, we could do a single reading with the policy updates. We only had a couple questions, and Kim, do you want to tell us what you're checking on with Richard?
Yes, so Brian, your questions about the two policies, the one with the question about the word better in 1240. It won't change the meaning of the policy if it stays or goes. We haven't gotten a response yet.
It just doesn't seem like it fits because there's nothing to compare it to. It's a minor point, so it's not a showstopper structure.
And then for the other policy, the 7,000 use policy, it was missing the word "be" that's been put in. So when that goes up to be finally put into our policies, that will be
I think the committee today said if we can take the word better out and there's no structural reason it's there, we'll just take it out and go from there.
And we didn't have any other questions regarding those were the ones. So if there's a motion to approve with, the better, if we can take it out, take it out. If we can't, then it stays in. Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Katie. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Rini, any other questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Then that takes us down to item 15, which is to appoint a delegate for WIAA annual meeting. In the past, we've had Mr. Miller do it, our activities director. Is there a motion to appoint him as well again?
I'll make the motion.
Rini, is there a second?
I'll second.
Chris, any questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Is that a voluntold?
Voluntold, yeah. Kind of comes with the job description, as long as the board approves, we're good. So.
All right, informational items.
Perfect. I will be sending out in the next week here, trying to find a date. I can't believe spring break is coming up next week, and when we get back, there's 7 weeks of school. So talk about a sprint. I don't know where this year went. It is flying. But let's look at maybe that first or second week of May, on Monday, the first or second week of May to try to get the springboard retreat. So I'll throw it out, sometime tomorrow or Wednesday, and let's see if we can make one of those work. And we'll go from there. Second, legislative breakfast. I think it's important for this gang to know, there's a lot of conversation right now about the budget surplus. There's about $2.5 billion of surplus that's out there. And I think some of that should go back to taxpayers because it was overtaxed. But there's some things with this biennium budget that everyone I know in every district I've spoken to, we're in a tight spot. And one is special ed reimbursement. The state said that they would give us a 42% reimbursement. Right now, we're hovering at 37. It's almost $100,000 difference, what they told us they would give us compared to what we're not. And right now, that's about where our budget's in the red for this year. So, as you know, anyone, or if you have any conversations with politicians, it would be the stance, my stance, and it's up to you, that partial of that surplus should go back to the taxpayers because it was overtaxed. But some of that also should go into things that were promised in this biennial budget. So, unfortunately, both sides don't want to let either side win. And I'm worried that 2.45 billion is not going to do anything to offset property taxes, and it's not going to help schools. And they're going to roll it back in and have somewhere around possibly $8 billion in surplus sitting in the state coffers. So, that's something we need to be conscientious of. We know, I've heard firsthand, property taxes went up because the state did not offset the increase in schools like they have for every year for the last 25 years. So, those are some things that this surplus is really on the back of schools. So let's do something a little bit different. But, we'll let you know, we're running out of time for that. Next, I just want to put on there, I just want to thank you all for your flexibility with Green Bay. I'm a believer that things happen for a reason, and I couldn't be more pleased to be here. It was a great run to see what's happening. I think it's an honor to the work we're doing here to be one of two candidates for the third largest district in the state. I will tell you, through the interview process, the things we're doing here blew a lot of minds. Things that we're able to show what we're doing with just individual classes, things we take for granted here. It was nice to see it through other people's eyes. And if you read, and I truly mean this, I don't refer to us as a small sandbox anymore. This is a laboratory of excellence. The things that are happening here, they are special, and I couldn't be happier with the staff, the students, what we're doing. So everything's meant to be, and I couldn't be happier to be back here. So thank you all for letting me explore that. I was encouraged to apply. I wasn't purposely looking for anything, and I think it was meant to be. And the last piece, I just have some documents here that I wanted to share. We're doing some really great things. Lacey Depish has been doing some things around social media, and I just wanted to kind of do some of the analytics that are around. I thought it was important to share these. I don't have one for everybody, so just kind of take them and look at some of the things that are happening. Lacey's had over 1 million views on our Facebook page this year. We're doing some small paid things through Facebook. And right now with some of our social media pushes that we're doing through Midwest Communications with the things that we're doing, we're getting out to almost 100,000 people every month. So I just wanted to pass these around, show you what we're trying to do. I'm hearing really great conversations from non-randomly community members about the things we're doing. We're having questions, and this pairs very nicely with our play dates to get our parents in and checking out our new facilities and seeing what we're doing. So I really do believe there's really great things happening here, and we're doing even a better job of pushing these things out, either through our engaged Facebook, but also getting in people's feeds, so they get to see what we're doing and all the great things that are happening. So yeah, so those were my updates for this month.
Great. Any questions? All right, we do have a closed session on tonight. Is there a motion to go into closed session as permitted under Wisconsin State Statutes, Chapter 19, Section 1985, 1C, to discuss personnel matters? That was Katie and Chris. All right, this requires a roll call vote. Brian?
Yes.
Katie? Aye. I vote yes. Chris? Beth? Yes. Reading? Yes. We are in closed session. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight. We will not be taking any action. So have a great evening.
Thanks for coming, guys.